Cardinals lead Valparaiso University out of Indiana by a 22-7 score at halftime. It's the HyVee halftime report, and standing by with a guest, here is Tim Crone.
You know, I don't like to do all kinds of interviews, but this is one of my favorite with one of my favorite players here ever, and William Jewell, Shelton. Sean, we were out there talking on a serious note. You got a chance to play over in Europe. Why don't you tell the Cardinal fans a little bit about that and what you did?
Well, I spent the full season in France in the French Elite League. You know, I got to play in the international competition as well, and then when I finished up there, I had an opportunity in Finland and played half the season there and ended up winning the championship. It's a phenomenal experience, you know, especially as a 23-year-old kid who just graduated less than a month after.
Seeing the world, buddy.
Hey, after a month after graduation, and you catch a flight to France to get paid to play a sport you love. I mean, it's phenomenal. I can't stress it enough. Traveling, I mean, seeing different cultures, seeing different things, along with playing, it's a great experience. I recommend it.
Well, you got the opportunity, which I really like for you, because I think I've always told you, you know, when we get together a few times having a Coke or something, that we would talk about that you really do have a coaching future, and you're getting a chance to coach there. And before going any further, I want you to talk a little bit. You're going to be helping now that you're back in the States here at Jewell, but why don't you talk about your experience there over in Europe? Well,
over there, I got to coach the 18 to 20-year-olds in France, and I think it's a great experience because you really have to start from the basics. You know, I think we take it for granted that we get coached since we're 7 from people who've played for 40-plus years. These kids, you know, they're getting coached by guys who've never coached before, and you know, they were such sponges, and it was a gratifying experience because they didn't know. And you got to start from the basics, you know, built them ground up. And I got to be offense coordinator of them, and you know, by the end of the season, it was just clicking to see them progress, to see them really take hold of their sport and their skill. It was a great experience. And I think in Finland, I didn't get to do it as much, but you know, it was an air raid offense that I wanted to change, and got there and got to coach to tell them how I think they should run.
For once in your life, you got to coach something, and after all, the coaches told you everything, right?
Exactly. So I got to mold the offense kind of to what I thought it should have been.
Right.
And it was also a cool experience because you get to try things that you usually don't get to try here. And, you know, it was a great learning experience, and I'm going to take that with me.
Well, what I'm really proud of, you know, when you're here, you're not going to coach the quarterbacks, which I think is good because I'm trying to mold you as a coach. You know, you're going to coach specialty teams. I think that if you played something like you did, and you know the quarterback position, and you got some expertise in there, but if you want to be a head football coach, you got to know all 3 phases. Right. I think specialty teams are going to be fun for you.
Well, I think you just need to be well-rounded. You know, I would like to think I know a quarterback position pretty well. Played it for 9 years of my life now, but you know, I haven't. Because you're a quarterback, you don't get very many opportunities on special teams outside of maybe holding.
And you're inside that heart right there as a linebacker. We all know that. We know that
for better or for worse.
For better or for worse, for sure.
But yeah, it'll make me it'll make me a more well-rounded coach because as quarterback, you got to know defense as well.
Yeah, right.
But you don't pay attention to special teams. I know I didn't. Every time Waddle got up there, I started watching film or whatever. So it'll be a huge personal development.
Well, the difference in this ball game has been specialty teams. We won every special the whole by far.
Same thing with SBU.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been huge.
They've been very, very well. You know, I got to give you back time in closing here. I asked Rick, is he going to get a Finnish ring for this championship? I actually got on the line. Rick emailed me this stuff, and I watched it. It was great. Why don't you just talk about that winning that championship real quickly?
I mean, it was awesome, especially the situation that it was. You know, the quarterback that I replaced had been there for 5 years, and it was his offense, his establishment. Played at Texas Tech, air raid offense, and I came in, and you know, I wasn't really familiar with that, but I learned it and then adapted it to how I wanted it. And you know, the offense kind of didn't click until the championship game, and we just went off, and it was very gratifying. I've never played in a championship in football in my 18-year career.
Well, you have now, dog. I want to see that Finnish ring.
And my parents were there, and they were so proud. It was great.
That was great. Well, we're all real proud of you here, and we're glad you're back. I know you might be doing some subbing and some other stuff, so I'm putting in a line for you. So if anybody wants to hire a good man,
hey,
see, I'm always your promoter.
There you go.
But I am proud of you,
Thank you.
You're really getting a real sound base to be a coach in the future. And good luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll see you, bud.
Greatest thing about Sean's championship, I thought, the picture on Facebook. He was standing there holding the Finnish championship trophy with his mom and dad, and his dad was wearing a William Jewell football jersey. I like that part. Back with more at halftime in a moment.